So things are changing. I have been so blessed to be able to run the Salon Starch program for this is year number 6 that I'm running the Salon Starch program, which is just such a blessing. My clients feel like my family. They're characters in my world. These people mean so much to me, and the transformations that I've seen are unbelievable that I don't want these precious people in my world to lose what they've achieved. Because of this, I've decided to turn the Salon Starch program into a lifetime program. So the way it worked in the past was a new client would come on and they would do 6 steps in 6 weeks. And then after the 6 weeks, they would move into the master's program and they would go through 6 steps in about 6 months. And again, it was a step per week. And then the modules stopped, the content stopped. Clients could continue to get support, but having that weekly focus that they would get from the module each week was gone. And I found that weekly module was such great structure that the client craved when they first came into our work together, and it allowed them to drown out all the other noise and just focus in on your stage and your step for this week. So what I've done, and I'm so excited about it, is not only are my clients going to continue to get weekly modules for life, but also I've taken that first 6 stages from this first 6 weeks and I've expanded that. So it used to be 6 steps in 6 weeks, which is a lot to do in 6 weeks. And sometimes clients would be a bit overwhelmed by all the information that they got so quickly. And I believe that there's no timeline on the healing journey, and that allowing clients to move at a pace that they feel comfortable with is a very wise thing to do for long-term change. And sure, there were some clients, and many clients came in ready to hit the ground running. Let's go, let's do this. And a lot of my business has occurred during COVID, where clients had more time to sit down and to do these modules. But this is not going to be realistic for everybody. And so I've stretched it out so that it used to be 6 steps in 6 weeks. Now I've elongated and stretched out. You go so much more in depth so that stage 1 isn't just done in a week. You do it over the course of a month. Stage 2 is not just done in a week. You do it over the course of a month. So it used to be 1 stage per 1 week. Now I've made it much more in depth. I've redone and I'm redoing all of the modules so that stage 1 is not wham bam thank you ma'am, all right, we're done, move on to the next one. It's a lot more slow going and in depth, and this is just so aligned with how I feel about the transformation that we go through when we're making these lifestyle changes, that this is not something that you just check off the list, done, let's move on. This growth, this self-development journey is one that you're going to be on for the long term, and your growth potential is limitless. So let's not rush you into making these changes right this second, but instead allow you to go at this journey at a more comfortable pace and allow you to fall in love with the process of changing and evolving and growing. And having that focus every week is something I'm so relieved to know that my clients are going to have. So the changes that have happened, Slim on Starch is not a finite program anymore. This is not a program that you do, you're done, and then that's that. A lot of clients they'd finish the program, they'd be like, well, now what? I was so used to having my Sunday module that I would go through. So the first change is that clients are going to get modules for the long term. The second change is that, hello, he's knocking over my tripod. You know who it is. It's Bear. Hi. I know. Okay, I'm gonna put you down. The second change is that clients are no longer needing to rush through this development journey. And then the third change is for my clients that have already gone through the program, if they want to come back and do the lifetime program, I'm allowing them to sign up for the lifetime program and get a nice fresh start at the beginning of stage 1 of their journey. And even for clients that have already, they're doing great on this lifestyle, they're maintaining it, they're going back and starting from stage 1, because that sort of approach is aligned with The idea that you're better off reading the same book 10 times as opposed to reading 10 different books, because every time you read that book, you're going to discover something new. So with my clients that are going back to stage 1, they're going to discover brand new things that they didn't have the capacity, or maybe they weren't ready to work through when they first went through that journey. And now all the modules are new. I have new exercises. Things are much more in depth. I'm so excited about it. So that's the big change with the Salon Starch program. And I'll just add in here that you are not forced to stay the entire time. This is just structure that is here for those who want to stay in the long term. So you're not locked in for life. You get to choose how long you want your journey to be. So a lot of my time these days is spent not only remaking, redoing, reformulating all of the current modules, but also adding on new modules so that clients get a new module every week for life. I just finished up filming a new module for the Slim on Starch program, which was all about oil-free cooking. So I went over all of the different ways to cook vegetables without using oil, and talked about how to find sort of what your groove is and what works best for you, and how satisfying is this visual. I'm curious, what is your favorite way to cook broccoli? And if you find that you need help with learning how to do this and finding what your groove is and finding your routine with food, and you like a visual like this, then you should join the Slim on Starch program, because all of the information on how to do this is in there. So if you like visuals, if you like a teacher, then I got you covered. I've thrown on a sweatshirt and I'm in the kitchen with my markers, my notepad, because we're going to do a little bit of recipe development and testing for an upcoming cookbook. The Healthy Kids cookbook is going to be upcoming. I'm not sure if I'll drop that one next month or the month after, but I am going to just use what I have in the kitchen, which is one of the cool parts about a cookbook like this, is you don't have to go out and get all these crazy ingredients. I'm just using things that I already have. I want to make some little energy protein bites. When I was a kid, I have a vivid memory of eating those chewy Quaker granola bars, and I kid you not, they made you hungrier. I swear they would enter your stomach and they would just carve open more room in there. I would be hungrier after I ate those. So together, you and I are gonna develop a little energy bite ball recipe. If you have kids, leave a comment and let me know what your kids currently eat so that I can make some healthy replacements for it. Just leave a comment, let me know the only things your kids will eat. There's gonna be tofu nuggets. I got good stuff coming. But let's develop a recipe. So we are starting out with a cup of oats and a half a cup of oat flour. You don't have to buy oat flour. You can just take a half a cup of oats and grind it into a flour using a blender or Vitamix. Then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. Now we're adding in 1/4 of a cup plus another tablespoon of tahini, 1 tablespoon of flax seeds, and 1/4 a cup of chocolate chips. I added in a little bit at a time to make sure that they all didn't get clumped up together. And we'll go ahead and mix these up. And then I've laid out some parchment paper and I'm going to roll these into balls. They are a bit sticky, so if you're having trouble, don't hesitate to make these into bars instead of bites. You can just fill it into a silicone loaf, or you can just lay out a giant rectangle that you'll cut a little bit later. But you can either do these as bites or you could form them into bars. And then I decided to add a little chocolate drizzle, so I just melted some chocolate chips and added in a little bit of water to thin it out a bit. And I drizzled that on top before putting it into the fridge for a few hours to set. This is totally optional. You don't have to do this. You could dunk it in melted chocolate as well and give it a hard-coated shell. But I just set these in the fridge for a few hours and then they were good to go. So what we have here, folks, is the ultimate energy pack, because We have an energy ball that I just made, but also the energy ball isn't going to do anything if you don't make sure that you are supplementing with your vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is essential for neurological function, metabolism regulation, energy function, and I need energy to keep up with this guy. And most B12s on the market are disgusting. They have GMOs and oil and sugar and gross stuff, and mine does not. This is the cleanest one that you're going to find. It is vegan, clean, premium ingredients to make sure that your energy levels are regulated, your metabolism is regulated, your neurological function doesn't suffer. So yes, have the energy balls, but also have your B12. So one for healthy kids is done. Next, I'll develop one today and then I'll do another one tomorrow. Healthy gut is going to be an upcoming cookbook, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a curry, and I don't wanna tease it too much, but I'm gonna get messy in here and develop an Indian curry that's gut friendly. See you after. Sweater is back on because my friend Ashley is coming over to have some lunch. My boyfriend is not here this weekend, so we're gonna have a little bit of girl time, but I have to send my mom a very important voice note, and we're gonna do it together. Hello, there are two things that I would like to address with you. Both of them are primary food related. The first, I wish Mimi was here for, but she's not. And that is that I want to learn how to make my own clothing. So I'm wondering if you're able to swing into action and take the place for what Mimi would teach me, and I can come over and we can dust off the old sewing machine and maybe I can learn how to make my own clothing. And the second thing is gardening. So with spring coming up, I would love if you don't do anything with the garden unless I'm there, because I need to come learn the ropes. I also am gonna bring over some of my Hawaiian sweet potato and some of my pumpkin seeds, and hopefully we can grow those. But I do want you to teach me the ropes, and I'll vlog it and everything so that when I have my own garden, I can grow my own food and be self-sufficient. So those are the two primary food updates that I wanted to discuss with you. I love fashion so much. I cannot even tell you my passion for fashion. I'll see if I can find the photo at my parents' house of me and my mannequin and I, to be polite to my mannequin. I wanted to be a fashion designer when I was little, and for Christmas one year, my mom got me a mannequin and I would make clothes on it. And I find myself searching online I have an exact idea in my mind of what I'm looking for, and I search for hours at night looking for a piece of clothing that I can't find. And I have a very minimalistic, sophisticated capsule wardrobe, straightforward style. I should be able to make this stuff. And how cool would it be to be able to create exactly what I envision wearing, and it fits perfectly? I mean, that's so exciting and cool. And I think about my client Grace, who I know is a seamstress. So I reached out to Grace and I was like, what advice do you have for me? And then I have another client, Nancy, who also is a seamstress. And I have another client, wow, seamstress on Starch. Seamstry on Starch. I have Raffi, who's a seamstress. Crazy. So cool. And then gardening, of course. I mean, all I eat is produce. I don't need grocery stores if I can garden. It's funny, sometimes people say, oh, you can, the amount of potatoes that you get bushels. You get way more than you could ever eat. You sure about that? What new primary foods are you guys stepping into for spring? I'm excited to hear, so comment and let me know what your spring primary food is gonna be. I've got to give a shout out to my clients, Steph and James. They are a married couple. They joined the Slim on Starch program back in August of last year, and they have released almost 100 pounds as a couple, which is just unbelievable. I love that she has said here, my daily food is my medicine that fuels me. Look at all these delicious eats. And then she also said, with the Slim on Starch program, with Healthy Hunnies program, I'm down 33 pounds. I haven't been sick in over a year, stronger than I've ever been, incorporating running, skin is glowing, bloating is gone, inflammation is gone, off the energy drinks and allergy pills. And Steph and James are just absolute beasts. They are strong, they are fit, they are tremendous people. The support between them is so admirable. It really is something that I strive for in my relationship, and I find them to be a very inspiring couple that I am just so honored to be able to support. So shout out to those guys. Oh, and then look at, I didn't even see her next story. Her next story says, oh, and I eat a ton of carbs, and guess what? I lose weight. All right, Ashley is here. We have got our creations. So I have the Indian, that's a curry, and then I have my purple potatoes that I've baked, my Hawaiian sweet potatoes. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. I'm so ready to dive in. And then Ashley, who chose the Mexican option, I asked her, do you want a stew or do you want lettuce tacos? And she said, I want lettuce tacos. So I made these into little lettuce tacos, and both of these are going to be in the Healthy Gut cookbook, which is coming up. Recipe testing has gone well so far because these smell amazing. Here's a little close-up shot of the veggie curry. I mean, how beautiful does this look? I want this to be my entire vlog because it's just so gorgeous. And one of my potatoes is a little heart, the food that loves you back. And then here's a close-up of Ashley's. She actually already had one, so far so good. And then I made up 3 more for her. And then for the movie, we have chosen the movie that never gets old. It never gets old, right? It's the best movie on earth, The Devil Wears Prada. I mean, this is the soundtrack of my life. So we are going to dig in and recite every single line because we already know every single line of this movie. If you love this movie too, please leave a comment and let me know. I need to know who my people are. Oh my God, I love this movie. I am having a splendid Sunday morning. I'm doing some reading because I'm actually interviewing this week. The video is already up on my channel by the point that this video goes up, but I'm interviewing Dr. Barnard. So exciting. So in order to be prepared for the interview, I'm reading the book that we're going to be talking about. I got an advanced copy of his new book that's coming out. So I'm reading it and I am taking some notes so that by the time the interview comes around, to show my respect to this man, I will be well prepared, well informed for the conversation. No better way than to spend this Sunday morning, honestly. If you haven't already seen that video, it'll be linked in the down bar. I'm working on a new module for the SOS program, and I have my assistant here helping me. And I'm rewarding myself for each because there's a bunch of new modules that I want to create today. And for each new module I create, I reward myself with a 10-minute walk. So finishing up this module, and then I'll take a 10-minute walk and get into the next one. If only I could walk him or him. Hey, you knocked my markers, sir. I want those to bleed onto the couch. You just had to sit there, huh? You know how they know that the earth is not flat? Because if it was, cats would have knocked everything off of it already. These will last here about 30 seconds before they get knocked off again. He's like, hey, I was working on those. I just knocked those off. I'm doing all my hard work. So I have all this makeup on, but I'm gonna take it off. I had to do some filming and some photos, but I'm gonna take it off because I'm gonna go see my parents and I'm gonna get a massage. And the last thing that I want is to be laying on that table, face down, with a full face of makeup. This guy just cannot get enough of me. Love me, huh? I'm so excited for my massage. This was my boyfriend's birthday gift to me. And actually, it's my mom's birthday tomorrow. My birthday was last week. But today is massage day. Is anyone else like me where like the second I have makeup on, I'm like, get it off. I put on makeup honestly just to film, or if I'm having like a special date night with my significant other. But other than that, I hate having it on. And the reason why I don't like having it on is because I just feel like it's clogging my pores. Really trying to keep this skin youthful. So I filmed and now I'm taking it off. In a previous vlog, I showed that I was using these natural bamboo cotton makeup remover pads because I was using cotton ones and it just, you know, disposable ones, and it just felt so wasteful. And they've been great, except for washing them, I can't figure it out. It says that you need to hand wash them, but look, I put these in the washer because this is after being in the washer. You can still see that there's some makeup on there. So I'm not gonna use that because that feels dirty. So I'm still figuring out how to properly use these. But other than that, I would definitely recommend them. Much better than using the disposable ones. I do want to support this company though, because they are zero waste, eco-friendly materials. I just gotta figure out how to wash them. Guys, look how funny this looks. All right, let's clean up this face. I am meeting my parents right now at Cafe Nero to celebrate my mom's birthday. So I'm gonna get some chamomile tea. My mom will probably treat herself to a soy milk latte. I have a little gift for her. I'll spend time with my favorite people in the world. And I know that my client Susan has the same birthday as Healthy Mummy, so happy birthday to Susan as well. I got a little gift from my mom, so I got her a manicure for her birthday, and then I just put some photos of us on the sheet. And then, of course, getting her favorite, her very favorite, Mary's Gone crackers. Oil-free vegan. So I, of course, have chamomile tea. Healthy Dad has black coffee, and Healthy Mummy is treating herself to a soy milk latte for her birthday. Guilty. Let me just explain, because my dad looks insane in this clip with his hat like this. The sun was shining in a way that he had to tilt his hat so that it wasn't blinding him. He doesn't walk around with his hat like this all the time.
So I ran home.
Whoa. My birthday was okay. Could be just about anything.
Dad, what have you learned from this one?
Don't panic on a day-to-day basis, especially you folks, because you're younger. Just stay the course.
The next day, I wanted to share what I do when I am very stressed. So at the time of filming this clip, I was very stressed about something that is completely outside of my control. And so what I do in these scenarios is I clean. I take everything out of my cabinets or my pantry or my closet. I sanitize everything, I reorganize, I deep clean, I put it back, and this is how I work through and handle stress. Tonight I have book club with my friends. Obviously, one would think. Tonight I have book club with my enemies. Usually my book club these are more of thriller kind of gals, and I'm not really a thriller kind of gal. I love me some romance. Cheese it up on me, drown me in nutritional yeast. I want it to be so cheesy. But lucky me, this month we actually went for a romance novel. Unlucky me is that I had already read the book. I didn't love the book. I'm playing my Goodreads because I think I read it in September. That's my best guess. Oh, I read it in October. It was Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I really wanted to like it. So I have book club tonight, long story long, and it's at 6:30, and there's always food. And I know this is a challenge for a lot of my clients, is these sort of social situations. What do I do in situations like these? And then they say, the wine comes out. And so the way that I personally navigate something like tonight with book club is I'm gonna eat before I go. I'm gonna do my normal night routine. I'm just gonna pull it back a little bit and do it a little bit earlier. So I'm still gonna do my ab workout, my exercise, I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna do my skincare, I'm gonna eat my supper, and then I'm gonna go to book club, and that will be my wind down for the night. And usually we bring food with us, everybody brings something, but this time they're ordering food, and so that's why I'm just gonna do it a little bit differently. Normally I would bring whatever is aligned with the theme. And this month they decided to not do that. So they're, ordering food, and that's what they're gonna do for food. So I'm just gonna eat before I go, and no big deal. And if I eat a little bit earlier tonight, then I'll just get hungrier a little bit earlier tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna eat before I go, normal night for me, and then just head over to book club after.
That is really
It's ALC's.
I messaged her going on a whim, and I was like, would you ever
Oh, I have some questions about this too. Should we wait for Taylor?
What?
Yeah. Okay.
Drinks out.
Oh, okay.
And then this is the top one's like a.
I'm back from book club, makeup free, ready for bed. This book did not get a good rating, fam. This is our lowest rated book. And like I said, I wasn't there last month when they chose the book for this month, and I'd already read it. I didn't like it. And I definitely was in good company with not liking it, because next month we are reading The Great Alone. No, not The Great Alone. We're reading The Women by Kristen Hanna. Has anyone read it? I'm not a historical fiction person. So to be honest, I'm not looking forward to it. I know, I hope I didn't offend anybody. I know. I'm sorry. Am I going to get canceled for that? I got to go to bed, fam. I got calls early tomorrow morning. Mwah, 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 mwah. Live in Boston, they said. I am about to head out to get my hair cut and colored. One of my goals for 2024 is to learn how to slay this hair, and I need to make sure that my hair is my natural color, the color that I'm meant to be, which is a very ashy, dark brunette. Because I was blonde for a couple of years, sometimes the sun can turn my hair a little bit reddish, which is not the look for me and my skin tone. You can actually see when I'm wearing all black here, I am color matched to be dark, you know? I'm just meant to have dark hair. So I need to make sure that the color is looking good. And I do want to get her intel about what the cut should look like. I'm going to this really great salon in Newton, so I'm going to drive out to Newton. It's called Hustle Stop, and they have all natural, much less harsh chemical products, which I'm really looking forward to using. So updates to come.
So tell me about your hair.
Okay, so I'm so excited. I have always had very long hair. I love having long hair, but the problem that I find in terms of styling is that it's all just, it can weigh down my face. Mm-hmm. And I think what I need, one of my goals for this year is to learn how to style all of this hair. Mm-hmm. I think I need it to really frame my face and have angles or layers and give more body to it, because it's just all like,
yeah.
This is my natural hair color, this very ashy brunette. I went blonde, and then I went back to brunette, and now it's starting to look red, which we cannot have happen.
Yeah. I do feel like some of this length doesn't really serve you, like it's not really doing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
feel
what you're
like
saying.
If you kind of brought it maybe even to here and opened it up, you can like see just from.
I find another thing too as business owners is everybody has an opinion as to how we should run our business. And I don't know if you've done consulting or talked to other salon owners, and your concept for your salon, which is I want somebody to come in once a year, get everything done, and then come back a year later. I'm sure many people would say, well, that's not a smart business move, because you want to have repeat customers come as often as possible. And so I really applaud you and admire that you have stayed true to the concept that you believe in, because it's very easy to hear those things from experienced salon owners, for example, and be like, oh, well, maybe I should do it differently. Maybe I should have people come in as often as possible. And if we start to do what other people say we should do, then we just start looking like everybody else.
So true.
And then you're not serving the people that really need you.
No, so true. Whoa. How's the color feel?
Oh my gosh, it feels like that's my color.
Yeah, it's like very natural.
You mix that so easily. This is what God gave me.
I feel like honestly through a lot of trial and error, mainly error, I kind of figured out the few things that like people see on the other side that I think sometimes is missed in like communication.
What's your son's name?
Harlem.
Wow, that's an amazing name.
Thank you. I really like his name too.
What's the inspiration behind it? Are you from there? Are you family from there?
I honestly just think Harlem is a dope part of New York. But I always wanted to have a daughter named London, and
It's my favorite place in the world.
it's same. Oh, literally same. So like, I always wanted a daughter named London, and when I found out I was having a son, I was just like, well, I can't name him London because it's a girl named London. And then I immediately was like Brooklyn, and then I kind of was like, Brooklyn's a little girly-ish, and I was like, I love Harlem actually.
That is so cool.
I love the culture of Harlem, and I love that it's different and it's like not hard to say. 'Cause
Yeah.
while I love my name, being an adult, like growing up, I hated it because no one could ever say it.
I think
write
Sade
it.
is such a beautiful name.
I agree.
Does Harlem have a middle name?
Yes, it's Leandro.
Harlem Leandro.
And it's so funny because he's like recently been really into like he'll be like, mom, film me. And I'm like, okay.
Oh.
And then he'll like be like, hi everybody. And I'm like, oh, excuse me. Like it's funny that he's at that age where I'm like, wow, this is kind of crazy. He's like,
Yeah, what's he into
YouTube.
these days? What's his phase right now?
So he's highly into Pokemon.
Mm-hmm,
It's
cool.
like a big thing, trading those. He's also recently into being a YouTube famous for whatever reason. Overall, how is this feeling? Is this still feeling like heavy to you? Does this feel
No,
more
this is so
open?
much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna give you a mirror and I'll let you see the back and then you can let me know. Here's a good stopping point or
I cannot believe we are stepping into March. I said it once and I'll say it again. Smash Mouth really meant it. The years start coming and they don't stop coming. So here we are. Time for me to check in with my wellness goals for 2024. March is a very big transition month for me. My boyfriend and I are moving and you're gonna be here for all of the moving vlogs. Actually, the next vlog that you see is going to be a moving vlog. Very exciting. And I'll just give you a little sneak peek here. Moving when you're a minimalist, piece of my chocolate cake from the Healthy Desserts cookbook. It's also a huge transition in terms of the Slim on Starch program and my business. And so much of my energy for this month is going to go into my business and my clients in Slim on Starch. And that's probably where the majority of my energy is going to go this month. With that being said, this doesn't mean that my wellness can just fall by the wayside. I still need to stay on top of my wellness so that I can make this transition with my business. This is not a scenario where there's a zero-sum game here, where if I put all of my energy into my business that I can't focus on my wellness, because the reality is that my wellness has to be a priority in order for me to make this transition with the Slim on Starch program. I have to be getting enough sleep. I have to be eating well. I have to be moving my body. I have to make sure that I'm well nourished so that I can show up for the people that invest their time and resources with me and vice versa, me with them. So speaking to my physical wellness, I need to be on top of my sleep this month. Since November, something funny happened. October, November, we were away. Like every single weekend we had something. And so my sleep got kind of funky and getting back on top of it has been difficult. And so I just hard and fast to myself. I just have to get back to my 8 p.m. bedtime. And that's that. I've been pushing it a little bit. Sometimes I'll get into bed. It's like 9 o'clock, which is wild for me. 8 is my usual, but I would get into bed in the 7s. So 9 is unheard of and absolutely unacceptable. And that is ending. No, 8 has to be the hard deadline. And I'll tell you what I do. The reason why I've been bargaining with myself about it is because I'm working more in this transition. And so I'll work till I don't even want to say what time I'll work till and what time I start work, because it'll be like, Emmie, you have to have a life. This is my life. But I'll say to myself, well, I have to keep working. I can't sign off because there's a lot to be done. I'm playing myself with that, because here's the reality. In order for me to show up and do the work the next day, I have to get enough sleep. So that March, we are back to the 8 p.m. bedtime. No more 9 o'clock BS. That's ridiculous, Emmie. And I know people with kids are laughing at me, but this is the season I am in. I've chosen not to have kids yet because I got a business to focus on right now. My emotional wellness goals: take a full day off of work every week. Yeah, that is one that's been really, really tough because I've been in this transition. And to be honest, I don't think that it's gonna happen this month in March, and I'm okay with that. I really, truly am. And so I'm gonna make a little bit of a bargain here where I'm getting back to my 8 p.m. bedtime in lieu of taking a full day off of work. So what am I gonna do for my emotional wellness this month? What I'm gonna do for my emotional wellness is this. I'm going to allow myself to enjoy the process and the journey of the transition period that I'm in with moving into a new house or a new apartment, as well as the lifetime program with the Slim on Starch program. I am very much a go-getter, get it done. And the reality is that we have to build with care, not with haste. And so with my last house that I lived in, the entire thing was furnished before I moved in. I had all the pieces ready to go, and on move-in day, everything went in. And what I robbed YouTube of was the journey of moving into my new house. And so what I want to bring to this season in March is I'm not rushing to fill up this apartment with everything so that it's good to go. I'm gonna really enjoy the process of moving in, and I'm gonna document it all. So I'm documenting the moving vlog. I'm not gonna unbox and unpack everything right that second when we move in. I'm going to allow myself to document this process, slow down in the process, and enjoy it. So that's my goal for my emotional health for March. Ooh, for my mental health, doing something that is 100% for pure fun and enjoyment. And that links into what I sent the voice note to my mom about the clothing or the gardening. So hopefully, I don't think it's gonna be warm enough to start gardening in March, but maybe we can get started with the fashion side of things. March is kind of funky because we have Easter coming up. So that's another thing. I think I actually might do this. I think we might host for Easter. So you'll see the vlog if that happens. But if we do, I want to do something really cute with decor or a tablescape and have a really fun creative process there. I talked about my business goals, how this transition I am just absolutely loving and having so much fun with. And then for my external beauty goals, one of my goals for 2024 is to learn how to style my hair. And so what I want to do in March, I love the heatless curls. This look was achieved by heatless curls. So I'm wondering if I need to look into heatless curls more and try another method that brings more volume to the top here. I'm gonna try a new heatless curls method. I also, in one of the recent vlogs, you saw that Coach Whitney got me some hair care products. So I'm gonna try those out. And then it says here, try out a new makeup product and a new makeup product and a new skincare product. I'm gonna see where the wind takes me with the makeup product, but with the skincare product, I think what I wanna do first is I wanna use up the sunscreen that I already have before I find a new daily moisturizer, because I don't really want to spend money on that this month. If you made it to this point of the video, comment happy spring. And some calls to action for you. If you are looking for a sign to sign up for the Slim on Starch program, this is your sign. Click the link in the down bar. Make sure that you're taking your B12 every day. Cook up the recipes from the cookbooks. Healthy Gut is coming soon. Healthy Lunches is coming soon. Healthy Kids is coming soon. So excited about all those drops. I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video. Woo!